There's something I think we need to talk about a lot more, especially in this kind of space. Because right now there's a very strong narrative around automation, and it sounds something like this: automate everything, scale everything, remove yourself from everything. And on the surface, that can sound like efficiency. But in reality, it creates something that feels very disconnected very quickly. And often it feels, frankly, empty. Because what gets lost in that process is the human part of your business. And that's actually the part that people, your customers, are buying into. Not just what you do, but how you do it, how you think, how you respond, how you understand them. And that's not something I believe should ever be fully automated. So this week, I am drawing a very clear line, not around what you can automate, but what you probably shouldn't. You see, this has become very real for me recently. As the Connection Scout, my automated assistant, has been running in the background, doing exactly the one job it's designed to do. And to be fair, it's doing really well. It's consistent, it's reliable, it's removing pressure. But alongside that, I've also been watching something else happen: the conversations, the actual human interactions that follow. And what's been really interesting is the part people are responding to the most. It's not the system, it's the person, it's the tone, the understanding, the feeling of being heard. We all need that. And that's where I think a lot of people are getting automation wrong, because they're trying to automate the entire experience, beginning to end, instead of supporting the right parts of your business. So for me, there are very clear things that I will never fully automate in my business. And the first of those is conversation. Not the structure of them, not the support around them, but the actual moment where you connect with someone. Because that's where trust is built. That's where the nuance lives, and that's where you understand what somebody really needs, not just what they say. And that can't be replicated properly through any automation, however good it promises to be. Sure, it can assist and it can guide us, but it should never remove the human element. The second thing I will never automate is judgment. And this one is really, really important, because systems are brilliant at patterns. They're brilliant at repetition and consistency, but they don't have context in the way a human being does. They don't feel the difference between this person needs pushing and this person needs space. And that distinction matters, especially when you're working with people. So while I use systems to remove the repetition of work in my business, I keep the decision making human, because that is where the value is. That's where I can make a significant difference. The third thing I will never automate is relationships, because relationships are not built through efficiency. They're built through presence, through your attention, the moments that don't feel scripted or automated. And that's something I believe wholeheartedly we need to protect, not optimize. Now, this doesn't mean you should avoid automation. Far from it. My entire business is built around that. I'm very much about building a business that utilizes the very best of AI systems, but the way I see it is slightly different. Automation should remove pressure, not personality. It should handle the background work so you can fully show up in the foreground. And when you get that balance right, well, that's when things start to feel very, very different. And what's interesting is that this week has actually reinforced that for me in a really quite powerful way. Because while the system is working and the results are coming through, the feedback that I think has been the most powerful has been around how my beta clients are feeling. They're feeling more confident in their conversations, more natural, less pressure. And that's coming from a combination of both the system doing its job and the human still being present. And that's exactly why I've made the decision I have this month. I'm only going to take on 5 new clients because I don't want this to become something that feels transactional. I want it to feel supported. I want people to actually experience what it's like to have something in their business quietly working for them while they stay fully present in the parts of their business and their world that matter. Because once you experience that, you won't go back. You don't want to go back to doing everything yourself. You also don't want to lose yourself in the process. And that's the balance I think more businesses need to find. Not full automation, not manual effort, but intentional support. So if you're currently thinking about bringing automation into your business, or maybe you already have, this is the question I'd ask you. What parts of your business actually needs you? Not where are you currently involved, but what are you genuinely needing to do and to support? Because those are the parts that you need to protect. Those are the parts that you stay present in. Everything else, that's where the system's going. And that shift is what turns a business from something that drains you into something that supports you. Now, as I always say, if you're enjoying this kind of calm, practical thinking about running your business, then make sure you subscribe to my channel because this is exactly the kind of content that I explore here multiple times every week. Furthermore, if this resonates with you, I've created something free to help you start building systems into your business in the way that actually feels manageable. And you'll find the link for that in my bio. And as always, I need to let you know that if this topic interests you, well, I've created a full series of calm AI systems for business, and you can watch the next video in that series coming up in just a moment.